At one of her recent rallies, Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene went on a tear, as usual, about Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and the crowd was chanting, "Lock her up," and Greene responded, "Yeah, lock her up too. That's a good idea. She's not an American. She really doesn't embrace our American ways," which is a complete and total lie. But Marjorie Taylor Greene, for several years now, going back to even before she ran for office, has shown an unhealthy obsession with Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And nearly every time she goes out there and speaks, Marjorie Taylor Greene, at one of these little rallies, she has to weasel in some kind of attack on AOC. You know, she's the one who put out the video challenging AOC to the debate. Screamed at her on the House floor and all through the hallway. We've seen the video of before she even got to D.C., although she was in D.C., but not as a representative, yelling through the mail slot on AOC's door. This woman appears to be obsessed with AOC. And of course, to AOC's credit, she's done a good job of trying to distance herself, to not get sucked down, to Marjorie Taylor Greene's level. But sometimes it's hard. And recently, after Marjorie Taylor Greene called her the little communist from New York, AOC did shoot back and say, well, I am taller than you, so whatever. But here's the thing. We have one member of Congress who has this unhealthy, almost clinical type obsession with another member of Congress. A member of Congress who is on video harassing another member of Congress repeatedly, before and after taking office. And we're just supposed to sit here and act like this is a normal thing that happens? I know civility has actually never had a place in American politics. If you think this is some kind of new thing taking place in Congress, you haven't paid attention to American history. Trust me, it's always been pretty ugly. But this is about one of the ugliest things that we have ever seen. Marjorie Taylor Greene, because of her conduct, because of her words, has already been stripped of all of her committee assignments. She clearly does not belong in that body of Congress. She clearly cannot be trusted. She makes her colleagues, people like AOC, fear for their lives. Yet she is still sitting in there today. And that's on the Republicans, because they're the only ones who can do something about it at this point. The Democrats do not, in fact, have the number of votes to expel her from Congress, so it's up to the Republicans. But they don't want to do anything because AOC makes a great boogeyman for them, and that's why they're going to keep doing this. They're going to keep letting this happen, and the longer it goes, the worse Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to get.